guys, what's up? It's Nosibor here with another Minecraft tutorial video, this time on how to make a craft bucket, otherwise known as Bukkit Minecraft server, on Windows. Alright guys, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and click on the links I've supplied for you and down in the description box below. Now you're going to need to install these first two programs. The first one is Notepad++. Now this one is optional, but I highly recommend it, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of plugins and writing permissions and stuff, because it is very much needed, especially for permissions and stuff. It's basically like, Notepad++. It's a additional version to Notepad. It's a whole lot better, and there's a lot more functionality. It puts in different colors here, so it's easier to deter the different things. It's just highly recommended, and I hope you get it. And all you want to do is you want to go ahead and click download here, and then you click on the very first link, the Notepad++ installer, unless you know you're a more advanced computer user and you want to go with one of these. Anyways, you just install that, and then once it's done, you open it. But I already have it, so I'm not going to download it. Now, since this is a free program, it has some ads in the installer. Just, choose custom installation and unclick all the ads and change my home page. Alright, and the second thing you want to need, this one is a crucial thing. This is on the Oracle website, and if you don't already have this, which you probably don't, if you just downloaded Java a long time ago and you go by the updater that pops up every once in a while and says your Java is out of date, you do not have this yet. This is like still somewhat in development version, they consider it, but it's been out for a while. What you want to do is on this very first top one, right now it's current version 7U4, it's probably going to be 7U5 or whenever. You want to get JRE, unless you're, Java developer, which, you would know that anyways, but you want to go to JRE. Well, actually, what the setup I'm going to show you, you might as well just want to go with JRE. If not, you're a more advanced computer user already, and I don't even know why you're here. Anyways, you want to download Java Runtime Environment, click Accept the Agreement, and then download it for your Windows version. Now, if you're on 32-bit, you want to go online version. You download that. And then if you're Windows 64-bit, which most of you should be, I know I am, you want to download this version. And this is a very simple install. It's super easy. Install that. Once it's done, alright, good. The next thing you want to do is click on the third link I've supplied for you, and it brings you to this web page. Now this web page here will always show the recommended build of Craft Bukkit, because this is the Craft Bukkit website. This is the legitimate version of Craft Bukkit. Anywhere else you get it may not be the updated version, maybe an old version, maybe a virus, who knows. Anyways, as long as Bukkit is around, this website should be up, unless the URL gets changed. Anyways, you want to click on the recommended build and see this is for version 1.2.5 Minecraft, and that's the revision of Craft Bukkit itself. Now, beta build, say like when 1.3 comes out, if the recommended build is still 1.2.5, but you really want to go to 1.2.3, or 1.3, excuse me, you can go ahead and do the beta build. But I would not recommend doing a development build. If you're going to use development build, I highly recommend that you back up your server. And anyways, you want to download the recommended build, keep, and I am using Chrome to download this, as you can see. Show in folder, or start, documents, downloads. There's Craft Bukkit jar, and I do have RimWar installed. That's why it looks like this. Yours may not look like that. Alright, 1.2.5 revision 4. Now, what you want to do is, either on your desktop, if you're going to be using the server a lot, you can just make a new folder, Bukkit server. Now, if you're not going to be running a lot, and you're neat freak like me and like to keep your desktops clean, what I usually do is I just put this in my documents folder, which, whatever works for you, it's absolutely fine wherever you put it, as long as you remember where it's at, because you're going to need to be getting to it. Alright, now, the next thing I want to do is you're going to want to put the 1.2.5 thing in there. Keep your downloads folder, we're going to need it. Actually, no, we're not. Alright, now click on the fourth link I've supplied you, and you're going to want to look at the page. This is the Bukkit wiki. Now this is the easiest way I can get you to write a simple batch file to actually run your Craft Bukkit server. Now, you're running Java 7 if you installed it, JRE, and what you want to do is you want to copy from the beginning all the way down, copy that, all of it, and then you want to go here, right click, new, text document and just name it launch or launch bucket dot, you don't want a txt, dot bat. Yes, if that pops up. And then you're going to want to edit with Notepad++ if you install it, or you can just use Notepad. Alright. And then just paste what you copied, and it should be all colorful and stuff like this because it is a batch file. Now, this is Java. If you install JDK, you're going to want to change that to JDK 7. And if you want to allocate the server more RAM, you should do so, but I highly recommend you leave this first one the way it is, and if you want to give it 1 to 2 gigs, just change this to 248. That means that it will initially allocate 1 gig of RAM in order to first start the server, and if it needs any more, it can go all the way up to 2. But if you don't have that much RAM, you can change that to less or more, just whatever to your liking. Now also, here's another thing. This craft bucket, I recommend that you leave it in its current state, and you always just edit the batch file every time you update it, so that way you actually know easily what version of craft bucket you're running, because a lot of times I forget. And then you just do craft bucket, and then you write it exactly how it is there. There. See, craft bucket dot R4, so revision 4 with the dash R4.0.jar. It's the exact same way there as it is here. So we just save that. Guys, I made a little bit of a mistake here, even though I looked at this numerous times. Yeah, make sure you put in the 1.2.5. See, exact file name of that. And I did that right this time. So save and close. Alright, and double click your batch file. And see, it will start up the server. And this time it'll probably be a bit slow because it's making a bunch of new files. It's making the world map for the server. Now you can change this from now on. Now that you got the server properties folder. Or file actually, but you just let this do its thing while it's loading. Will it work this time? Done this numerous amounts of times, but yeah, you just let it work at it for a little while. And your ops, put your ops in there, server log. You just know if there's any errors and this doesn't start up, the error should be in the server log. Whitelist if you enable that, and then here's all your world maps. And this is where you put all your plugins that you would get from Bukkit plugins list. And oh, if you want to disable the end, that is in the buckets.yaml file. And I would make YAML files always open with Notepad++. You just click browse. Actually, no, you don't click browse. You just go to other programs, and it should be in this list. And if you click on it and make sure that's checked, click OK. It will make sure YAML files are always open in Notepad++, which YAML files are everything to do with a Bukkit server, so I recommend doing that highly. Alright, I think this might be done. Yep, when it tells you it's done. So you type in stop server. Make sure you always do that, just don't X out, because sometimes it will either stay running or it will just close it and not save your world. But anyways, you want to go ahead and ops if you want to do that. Fool around with the server properties. Alright, now see, allow the other, true. What you want to name the world map, which I recommend you would change if you want an actual world name. Server IP, make sure you leave this blank. This is a common misconception that you put in an IP address here and crap. Leave this blank. The seed of the world you want. Default, leave that. And then game mode, 0 survival, 1 is creative, so that's how players actually spawn with game mode. Difficulty, 1 is peaceful, 2 is normal, 3 is hard. PvP true, on. PvC false, off. Online mode, you want to keep this true unless you want your server to get hacked. Or if you're running a cracked server and you want people without premium accounts to get on, you can put that to false. But I highly recommend you turn on a whitelist if you do such. Spawn animals, spawn monsters, see this is where you turn on the whitelist. Generate structures, that's where you're going to have NPC villages, mine shafts, I think. View distance. Now, if you have a pretty bad internet connection, you're going to want to turn down your view distance. Your view distance, I usually set to 8. It helps, even though it's only 2 numbers down. The MOTD is what players actually see when they go to the server list. So I'm just going to put Nosibor server here. Alright, and that should be good. I'm just going to turn off the nether though, because nether saves memory even when no people are there. Sorry, my OCD. And then your allow end, false for me. 1 on overload. I'd set this to true, but if it's really laggy, it can make it even more laggy, so you might want to turn it off. Now spawn radius. If you're just running a server for your friends, I would turn this off. I'd set it to 0. That way people don't have to have op to build a spawn. This is a pain in the butt if you're just running a small server and right where you spawn is where you want to start to build. And then permissions file, leave that alone. Update folder, blah blah blah. I will leave all this the way it is. It's fine. Now if you want to alter the spawn limits to save memory, you can do so. Just make sure you don't mess this up, because if you do, your server won't work. But if you do mess it up, just delete it. It'll make a new one. All is good. Make sure you save. Alright, and I'm just going to go ahead. Every time you start your server, just double click your launch again. And start your server. Nope, done. See, that didn't take me long at all this time. Alright, just going to put that over there. Minimize that. Open Minecraft. Now, alright, in order to connect to your server, what you're going to do is just make a new server. I usually name it LAN server. And then your server address, just put localhost. That's how I connect. Or, if you want to, you can just search IP addresses and use quadruple zeros. It's the same thing. You still find it. And for other players to connect, you're going to have to port forward your server, which will be in another video soon, hopefully. And they'll have to use your public IP address, which I will show you how to do in that video. Anyways, you just join the server. And there you go. See, I'm in the game. A bit laggy because I'm recording, running a server, and playing. But anyways, always spawn looking at your tree. I wonder what that is. Anyway, so you can see I'm getting a horrible 2 frames per second, and my audio quality is probably reduced a lot. But see, if I do /version, you'll see the server's running Craft Bukkit version 1.2.5 revision 4. Yay! That is your Bukkit server. No, my frames went up. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped you out a lot. Leave in comments below if you think there's anything else I should add into other future tutorial videos. Thank you again. See you guys later.